list. And the average, and you have the sheets right in front of you, but I took the time and added up all 108 utilities and took an average, and it was just under 31 bucks for 5,000 gallons. Right now, you're paying $33.15. And just go to the website. You can get the numbers up yourself and look at the website. And it ranges, what's interesting on that survey, it ranges from $2.20, the city of Hammond, to a utility not too far from here, $71 for 5,000 gallons, not too far from here.
Well, I understand that, and I see how our water bill, oops, I'm over my 2 minutes, but here I go. Nobody else is saying anything, so I'll take somebody else's too. But our water bill ends up having sewage and stormwater on it, which also has on it now our mandatory trash collection. My water bill for my husband and I is between $70 and $85 a month. That I look at as my water bill. It's
But
not
it
$6 or $13.
Water, it's water, right, combined. It's pretty reasonable. And trash, that's reasonable.
Your sewage bill will not increase because of the improvements in the water.
Yes.
Your utility bill will increase. And that's our fault if anybody. We probably should rename this place utility office and not water
Yes,
office.
I agree. But when I'm going down to IGA or Walmart and buying 6 and 12 gallons of water at a time to use, because I can't even give my dog the brown water out of my faucets, it's not cheap.
And that's why we've identified these issues, Peggy. And that's why
Okay.
we're trying to fix it.
But just please keep in mind, this report is gonna change. As we get better numbers, we know what that interest rate's gonna be, we can zero in. But I can assure you, that information will be relayed in the council meeting. So everybody should know what the rates are, where they're going.
And
Okay.
just understand that these rate increases are not gonna take effect until this project is finalized and we know that we're able to go through with it.
Okay.
So this is just. in the
Unlike
future.
our storm water has been, correct?
Sorry.
Unlike our storm water has been?
That's in phases. So right now, we're beginning phase 2.
Anybody have any more questions for Pat?
I'll be quiet now.
Me?
Yes.
How often is the water meters read? Because I live alone and my water bill runs $77 a month. I do laundry. My son lives alone in a different house. His water bill runs $81 a month. He does not have a washer and dryer. He's single. His runs a different amount. So do they read the meters or is it just?
The meters are read monthly, so every month they're read. It's digital, they don't remove the lid anymore. It's all electronic. They drive the truck down and they have transponders on them. That prevents them from having to get out of the truck. It's a time savings. So they are read every month. But if you ever feel like you have a reading that's incorrect, all you have to do is call this office and we'll send somebody out to read it. They'll
No,
make
they
it
won't.
read.
It'll take them 4 months to get there. I've been up here 4 or 5 months in a row on my lease at home. And they come and looked at it, said where it was leaking, and that was it.
That's over the, that's not over the meters.
I know, but it's,
He was talking about meter reading. Meters are read every month.
well, they can't even read mine because it's full of water.
Okay, we'll address that issue. Does anybody have any more questions for Pat?
Great, thank you.
Okay, now we'll move on to the stormwater. Eric Smith is here from Hanawag Klein. He's going to explain to you the second phase, where we're at, kind of get us up to snuff on it. Hopefully everybody will understand what's going on and understand that, if you go out here, folks, and you look at, just driving in the countryside, even in the high ground, there's 6 inches of water in a lot of the farm grounds. So we just have a tremendous amount of rain. The storm drains are designed to take care of surface water, not seep water, so we're fighting that as well. Arby can tell you, he's lived in that south end longer than anybody else I know. He can tell you, you can't beat the seep water, you can't fight it. And as soon as it starts coming in, it fills up the pipes, and then everybody's pumping water from their basements into the storm drains. And then next thing you know, or the sanitary lines underneath their houses, instead of pumping it out into the street, and the sanitary lines get overloaded, and our sanitary system can only handle so much flow at that plant, and then it just cuts it off. It won't accept more than it can handle. So that's why it's important that people not pump sump water from their basements into the sanitary system. If you do that, you are breaking the law, and you can be arrested for it. And we may go out and start checking these. So if you're pumping water into the sanitary system, make sure that you get those disconnected and pump them outside the curbs, okay? Once the river goes down, then the storm water can handle the flow, and we can pump it over the levee. But you cannot pump it into the sanitary system. So don't do it. Eric Smith, Indiana Wagon Pine.
I also have a graphic here that I'll leave. Here, I'll use it. Thanks, Scott. My name's Eric Smith, HWC Engineering. As with any utility project, what is key to doing the best work for the community is feasibility and funding. Obviously, the best thing to do would be put storm drains everywhere you could. You just can't do that with the money you have available. A few years ago, the town embarked on a project to start addressing the stormwater in the town, and it was designed to be done in phases based on the availability of funding for that type of work. And at that time, that's when they started the stormwater utility. That project focused on the north end along 9th Street and up by the ballpark, and also in the south end around the Cherry Grove lift station, and it installed a trunk line along 7th Street that was designed to be expanded upon as funding became available in the future. There is now a funding program through the Indiana Office of Community and Rural Affairs, and that funding is available this fall. We're working with Terry Jones with West Central Economic Development District, and the town can get up to $1 million in grant money through that program. It's disaster relief money. It's actually money that was allocated after the 2008 floods that is actually left over from the communities that didn't use all that funding back in 2008. This phase 2 of this project that Scott alluded to is essentially these purple lines. We're going to expand from what was built in the last phase. There'll be a line here along Cherry Grove Avenue. There's a storm sewer that comes down an alley here. It's going to pick up that flow and bring it to the lift station. We're going to extend the line on Ratcliffe to the west, on Ferris Avenue to the west and the east, extend the main trunk up 7th Street another block, and then go all the way to 9th Street on Edwards, and then over to 6th Street. Obviously, it's not going to cover every area in the town. We have to try to prioritize. We work with the town to try to determine where the priority areas are and try to help the most people in the most areas with the money that's available. As I said, that application goes in September. It's a total $1.2 million project. And I believe the town would find out, Terry, in November. In November. So it's something that could move into construction next year and start helping the community next year. I'd be happy to answer any questions now.
Yeah, I've got a question. How's the storm sewer going to put in when you got groundwater? Where are you going to take it to?
As Scott said, when you've got seep water and you go through an extended period of high river levels like you have, you're still going to have some stormwater problems. It won't solve that.
All the lines you put in ain't going to help it, is it?
It's going to help during rain events to get that water
That's
away.
the only thing rain.
Yes.
That's not a big concern here, the groundwater.
I mean, that's, the seep water has been here for years, and you know, this will help that, but it's not going to eliminate that problem.
Let me show you something about this. Is probably before you was born. There's what people in West Grove used to do. That's 1943.
Yep.
That's Cherry Grove. That was floodwater, that wasn't groundwater, that's floodwater.
Right.
It was the system we got now, you pump it over and it comes back up. More pipe, put it down, ain't gonna help it a bit.
It's gonna help, but I'm not gonna stand here and tell you it's gonna solve seawater.
That's what you're talking about, seawater. We haven't had a flood for years.
Well, you have rain events that cause flooding.
That's true.
And this will help eliminate that.
I hope so. I'd have to see it.
Anybody else have any questions?
Scott, you was talking about pumping. Where are they supposed to pump this water to? That's in their homes, and what do they do with
They,
it?
they pump it out to the street, to the curbs.
And it just goes down the street?
We pumped 200,000 gallons of water in 8 days.
How many, Roger?
We pumped 200,000 gallons of water through the pumps. We had 300 hours the pumps worked, and that's how many gallons we went through. So it just came right back under.
And that's why we had Senator Ford here. We know we've got issues down at that pump station, we're trying to get them taken care of.
The issues aren't with the pump station, though, Scott. The issues is if it's seawater, you're not gonna get rid of that no matter what we do. As long as the pumps hold up, nobody's gonna go underwater, but you're gonna have to wade through it.
So
Did the
hopefully,
senator
once the
leave,
river
Scott?
drops, then the stormwater system can take over.
When it starts to go down, the stormwater will get rid of it quicker.
Right. It will
Scott.
help get rid of it quicker.
Is the senator gone? Did
He
leave?
left at 6:30. He's gone, he is.
All right. Did you take him down on the levee, they call the farm levee, and show where that gap is?
We took him down there.
Okay, that water comes in out of Sugar Creek, backs up on what's supposed to be Wabasika, it's nothing but a wetland. And that causes more seawater.
There's 19 breaches in that old farm levee.
We went back and addressed that.
Are the pump station, he's talking about taking the water down to on Cherry Grove. Now, a year and a half ago, you had money to fix that because Providence gave you 25, you had the other 25. You're gonna take a roof off the building. Why have we been waiting for a year and a half?
Because we can't find anybody to take the roof off. Larry, we just found a company, they're here right now, where you at? Help us out, right here. Trust me.
Well, people,
I don't have the ability to go down there and do it, do you?
I can take it off, but I can't put it back on.
I agree with that.
Okay.
I could probably take it off too, but then what do we do?
But the people in the south end, if they pump water, they pump it out in the road. The road's already full of water. I mean, it's a no win. If it goes into the sanitary overflows, and then we got messy water on the streets. But if they pump it out in the street, it's already in their yards and houses and garages. I mean, I think this is going to help, but it's not an answer. That pump will help.
There's not
But
an
all
answer.
you're gonna do is gonna seep right back in, no matter how much you move out.
And that's what Arby's saying, there's not an answer for seawater, but once that river drops and we're able to get that water to the pump station, we're able to get rid of it much quicker. Just like the north end, we've got the Providence lift station there. Now that the ballpark, I mean, they used to lose seasons up there at that little league.
The last time we had flooding, my neighbor lived in that house for 57 years. It's the first time in his life that he ever had to pump for 2 weeks. It's different because of that opening on the levee. That levee has to be fixed. When I called everybody, you talk about Corps of Engineers, Army Corps of Engineers, the DNR, the Commissioner's Office, I called Vigo County Parks. I got a run around from everybody. Nobody, none of the senators, I called 2 or 3 senators, everybody kept saying, well, you gotta call somebody else. Instead of, why did the Parks Department put a bridge over that gap instead of filling it? They said they spent $30,000, somebody else put it in for them. That don't make sense.
Larry, at one time, there was people from Dresser, because since that ag levee's broken, they say that they've gotten flooded, they get more flood waters over there now than they ever. Now, I don't know, I'm not an engineer, I'm not a hydrologist, I can't answer any of those questions. But they were willing to go down there and fix that ag levee at no cost to anyone. They were told to stay away from it.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I know the elementary school, our
And
last
that's-
flood, they had water on the playgrounds and they've never had water. Our plant down there, the sewage plant, I think it was almost isolated from the water coming up around it. I mean, it just, we need things done. This is not healthy, it's not a good way to live.
I agree, I don't disagree. And that's why we got the senator involved. Hopefully, now that we've got a new senator in there, hopefully he can help us with these issues.
Well, good. That's the reason I was hoping to talk to him, but if he left.
Because you know what,
maybe-
Larry, I made the same calls you made. I got the same answers. So all I can do is reach out to a new person, and hopefully we'll get the answers that we're looking for.
Another thing to look at, Scott, even though that you got the breach in the levee, the water runs through that hole, and the water still runs over the top of the levee, 50 yards down away from that hole.
Yeah.
It runs over the top of the levee then, so if it didn't have that hole in it then, it would have had a hole somewhere else. There's 19 sand walls on that old levee from I-70 to 15th Street. It's an old rag levee, full of trees, it's no good, and in order to replace that, it'd be millions. Tax dollars, everybody has to pay.
How come there's water so bad behind our house when it used to be just so dry in the summertime, it caught fire, they brought
Nancy, you're
helicopters
asking me
in and.
questions I can't answer. I don't
Well, who
know.
has the answer?
That's why we got the senator involved. He's gonna get DNR, we're gonna sit down in the meeting and ask these questions.
Is it too late now because they've got all these plans and all it is a
Nothing's
mosquito
ever
pit?
too late. I mean, nothing's ever too late. We do, like I said, we have the National Water Service, gentleman here. Do you guys have an estimate on removing that roof?
On removing the roof, no. Because removing the roof, I don't know is necessary or not. You have to understand, I only gotta look at this thing on last Thursday afternoon late. And, you know,